up, my lovelies, and welcome back to another video. I'm so glad you could join me today. I am talking about luxury flat irons or hair straighteners all above $200 US. It's very expensive. Why would you spend that much money on one hair tool? Hopefully I can answer those questions for you today. First one should be no surprise. This is the Ionic 10X flat iron. Retails for $230 US and it is a 1-inch plate. The second one is the GHD Platinum Plus. This is their 1-inch iron and it retails for $249 US. This one out of the three is the most expensive, but they're all in the same price range. And the third iron is a T3 X Singlepass because it's 1.5 inch. And this one retails for $230 US, the same as the Ionic. So I'm going to try to be very fair with these comparisons, but be very honest in how well they perform. What are the pros? What are the cons? Because these are very expensive flat irons. They're one of the most expensive on the market. There is a reason why they have such a high price tag, but that doesn't mean that you do have to spend that much money on a single hair tool. And today I want to show you guys what they do, what they're great at, and what they are not great at. On that note, let's get on to the review. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to divide my hair into 3 sections: side, side, and back. Because we have 3 tools, I want to see how they work. We're going to straighten my hair because my hair is a frizzy mess. And then we're going to curl the hair because that's what I do with a flat iron. I curl and I straighten my hair. So I want to demonstrate and see which one outperforms the other. Or maybe they're all great, or maybe they all suck. They don't. Seriously love these little hair clips. Incredible. All right, so let's look at my hair. This is 3rd day hair. I had a braid on the 1st day. I took it out yesterday on the 2nd day, and then I got my hair wet accidentally when I took a shower after the gym. Did not want to wash my hair, but it got wet, so it became this frizzy mess. I thought this was a really great opportunity to showcase how these flat irons work. So I'm going to start off with one of my favorites. You guys have seen this tool used on my channel countless times. This is the Ionic 10X, and I do have it set at 320 degrees Fahrenheit. I have been going a lot lower with my temperatures just because I feel like I can control it more. And I am going to straighten my hair first. And when I straighten my hair, I'll either use like a very tiny little comb, I'll use a brush just to help make sure it's nice and even throughout the hair. And I do have the vibrating plates turned on. One of my favorite features. And I will be doing only 1 pass per section just because we really want to see how well these tools work. All right, so the next tool I'm going to test on the right side of my frizzy hair is going to be the T3 Singlepass. This is their X 1.5 inch, and I have it set on their 2nd bar, which is roughly 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's do this. And I am going to be doing the same thing, using a little comb and then making sure I only go 1 time. Well, they claim that you only need to do it 1 time, hence the name Singlepass. It's not as smooth as the Ionic. I feel like it's pulling a lot of my hair out. Yeah. I find that keeps pulling on my hair. All right, for this last section with the T3, I am going to bump it up to 350 just to kind of see how well it will perform on a little bit of a higher temperature setting. You see these little parts right here? I have those kinks from the braids. The T3 is having a hard time getting closer to the root, so it doesn't look as sleek as I would want it to. Alright, so for my hair type, even though what they recommend, 350 works better with my hair than 300. Yeah, I feel like I did a far better job at 350. It was still not as smooth, but with one pass, it did a pretty good job. Just trying to compare it to the Ionic. I'm just pinning the straightened sections away from the third section, just to make sure we don't get the hair confused. The last one is GHD Platinum Plus, and this one doesn't have a temperature control setting, which I don't like. I like to have the control for which temperature that I want for my hair. But this one is an optimum temperature set at 365 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, Andre's gonna help me with the lower section just because I can't really tell what I'm doing and I wanna make sure all of it is nice and even and they all have a fair chance. So now that I'm done, I had a chance to kind of look and examine, and the one thing I do want to say is on the Ionic side, the hair looks softer. It's not as flat as comparison to the other ones, like towards the bottom. The T3 we started at 300 Fahrenheit, but it wasn't working as well, and I had to go up to 351, which did a far better job. And then the GHD was a steady 365 Fahrenheit, and that one resulted with very sleek, very straight, very flat hair also. So the smoothest flat iron, in my opinion, is definitely the Ionic, just because it does have the vibrating plates. It definitely knocks it up a notch in terms of creating that really smooth platform for the hair and really sliding easily like butter without tugging and pulling on the hair. The second one, definitely the GHD. I think the gloss that they have on top of the plates really helps glide easily through the hair. Really appreciate it. It doesn't tug, doesn't pull. Love that. The T3, I did have a little bit of issues with some of hair pulling. I feel like it's pulling a lot of my hair out. I don't like that. I don't appreciate it, and it wasn't as soft as it was gliding down the hair. The one flat iron that got closest to the roots was definitely the Ionic. Just the way the plates are designed, there's not that much of the outer surface. The plates are somewhat exposed, so it's a lot easier to get to the roots. And then the GHD also is pretty great, even though there's a little bit more material on the outsides, but it does still get closer to the roots. The T3, on the other hand, the outer enclosure around the plates, it's a little bit wider and bigger in comparison to the Ionic or the GHD. It has a hard time getting really close to the roots. You guys saw there's some little kinks still left over, especially like underneath. You can still see the kinks like right there. Let's talk about the temperature and features. So starting off with the Ionic, it does have a digital temperature control setting. The temperature ranges from 280 up to, I believe, 450 degrees Fahrenheit, which is insanely hot. So I like that you can control your temperature settings to your hair needs and your hair type. And then moving on to the T3. This is one of my biggest drawbacks with T3 hair tools in general. They have 5 heat options. They don't tell you what it is on the iron. They just show you little bars or little circle that they have on the other tools. So for the T3, the 1 bar goes as low as 261 and up to 410 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a great range of heat. But again, that's what the one thing that really gets on my nerves is when really expensive heat tools, they don't show you the temperature setting. If a $30 hair tool can do it, a $230 hair tool can definitely do it. Let's just put it that way. So going on to the GHD Platinum Plus, this is the only hair tool out of the 3 that doesn't allow you to control the temperature settings. They put it into their own hands thinking that the optimum temperature for hair styling is 365 degrees Fahrenheit, which may or may not be true. Personally, I like to control my temperature settings just because sometimes my hair texture is different than the other day. Yesterday, my hair was really kinky because of the braids. I would need to control it to that. And then if it's fresh out of the shower, my hair is very silky, it's smooth, and I need a very low temperature setting for that. That's just my hair type. But that's the one biggest drawback I don't like with the GHD tools is they only let you choose. They don't let you choose. They choose it for you. They choose for you the temperature setting. That's for me a really big drawback. All right, so I want to actually show you how these tools curl the hair as well. I'm going to follow the same steps. Ionic on my left side, GHD in the back, and T3 on the right side. Usually when I curl my hair with a flat iron, I'll brush out my hair and I'll tussle it with my fingers. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to brush it out with a hairbrush so you guys can see really the definition and the texture of the curls. So overall, I think all of these tools have their own pros and their own cons. All around tool, I think the Ionic wins for me just because it has temperature settings that you can control yourself for your hair type. And I do appreciate the vibrating plates because it does take it up a step further in comparison to the other luxury hair tools. Just all around, this is a great flat iron. If you do have thicker or coarse hair, I think this one would be really great for you. Just because the plates are a little bit bigger, you can put a little bit more hair into the plates and it still created a beautiful curl. But I think because of my hair texture, it didn't work so well just because it is a little bit too big. And I actually don't really prefer their 1 inch either. I felt like my hair was getting stuck in the plates. But I think if you have thicker, coarse hair, this might work great for you. GHD for me, it falls shorter than the other 2. Just because they're taking that customization away from you, away from me. In terms of straightening, curling the hair, I think the other 2 have a little bit more to offer. For example, the T3 has the bigger plates and you have more settings, and then the Ionic, it has the vibrating plates and you have the amazing digital temperature settings. So overall, I think all of these are great. I don't think you'll hate either one because they have those safety features integrated in the tools. It just depends on what your hair texture is, what you want out of this tool. Do you want to just straighten your hair? Do you want to just curl your hair? I think you can't really go wrong with either tool. I mean, you be the judge. You see how it performed on my hair, and I think you can determine how it's going to perform on your hair. And I do want to mention, I did bring down the Ionic to 300 degrees Fahrenheit when I curled the hair just because I felt like I didn't need as much heat because the hair was already straight, but I kept the T3 at 351 just because I lowered it and it wasn't working as well. So I brought it back up to 351. So there you have it, you guys, a very extensive overall review of how they straighten and how they curl the hair. All of them have their pros, all of them have their cons, but this is just my unbiased opinion of which one I prefer for what I want with my hair. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which tools you guys like if you own any of these and why you like them, and let us know what kind of hair texture you have. See how well these products work for your hair type. I'm sure others will want to know as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.